This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Berto, and Canada's men are one step closer to winning Olympic gold. 12 years, that is how long it's been since this tournament has been best on best. And that's how long it's been since our guys won the whole thing. And now they're through to Friday's semifinals after beating Czechia today. And my goodness, this made for a nervous afternoon. Macklin Celebrini scored first for Canada with an assist from Connor McDavid, a milestone goal for Celebrini, his 7th point of the playoffs, tied for most ever by a teenager at the Olympics. And McDavid matched a record of his own in the second period with another assist on a goal by Nathan MacKinnon, getting his 11th point of the tournament. That's tied for the most in an Olympics with NHL participation. Now, there's some major concern though. Sidney Crosby left in the second period after a hit from Radko Gudas, leaving Canada at a huge disadvantage and with a potential dilemma moving forward. Canada was down a goal late in the third, but Nick Suzuki came to the rescue, deflecting Devon Toews' point shot to tie the game and force overtime. And that's where Mitch Marner emerged as the hero, scoring the game winner to punch Canada's ticket to the semifinals. This was peak drama. This was peak drama. And how about some love for Jordan Binnington? He made a couple of enormous saves late in regulation and in overtime. 21 stops in total, a clutch performance. Now, we're not done with men's hockey for the day. If you're watching this right as it's being posted, the US is just getting underway with its quarterfinal against Sweden. So go watch it right now on TSN. If Sweden wins, Canada would get them in the semis on Friday, since they would be the lowest remaining seed. Of course, our boys took it today, had no doubt, which is why she wore the jacket, okay? The Olympic jacket. Sticking with hockey, and if there's one near given in women's hockey, it's that Canada will be facing the US in the final, of course. Tomorrow they will meet in the gold medal game for the 7th time in 8 Olympics, with Canada looking to win gold for the 6th time since the women's game was introduced in 1998. But when they met last week in the prelims, it was not close, with the US blowing Canada out 5-0. Let's bring in Megan Czechia to break things down here. Megan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Marissa.
Now, Abby Murphy was a problem for Canada in that game last week, but her impact goes well beyond the score sheet. What kind of issues could she present in tomorrow's matchup?
Abby Murphy's a problem in so many ways. She toes the line of physicality, she wins a lot of battles, and now she's scoring 2 goals in this tournament already. And she definitely brings that level of grit that you usually see in the men's game. So to see it spill over not only to the women's game, but her to be extremely effective, you have to worry about her not only off the scoreboard, but on it.
The key absence for Canada last week was Marie-Philippe Poulin, but this time the GOAT is back. Just how important will her return be for Canada in this gold medal game?
She is the important player in the entire game, and actually I would argue in the entire tournament. She has the most goals of any hockey player in the Olympics of all time, men or women alone, and she's playing on, not much rest, right? She's playing a ton of games injured. You see her on that with the goaltenders getting on the golf cart coming into the game. So Marie-Philippe Poulin logging still a lot of minutes and having that 2014 magic, the tying goal, the winning goal, captain clutch. We've seen so much out of Marie-Philippe Poulin. Just need a little bit more magic this time. It's one game. You never know what will happen.
Megan, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
So, Canada, how are we feeling about this one? Does Poulin rise up one more time and lead us to another Olympic gold? Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, after I saw Switzerland yapping about how Canada looks shaky and beatable, like why are you saying that? Don't say that, I don't wanna hear it, I don't wanna know that. Okay, Canada can do this. You can catch Thursday's gold medal game live on TSN, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. All right, we're just a few weeks away from the start of another F1 season, and they've got some major changes happening in the sport in 2026. Testing is already underway all the way in Bahrain. And wouldn't you know it, our guy Tim Rainey is there. Timothy, how's it going?
Hey Marissa, thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Okay, so I'm trying to wrap my head around everything that's changing going into this season. How about you break it down for us?
Yeah, Formula One's changing, and it's changing in a really big way. Everything you knew from 2025 and years previous, you can just take all of that and throw it out, because now the cars, well, they're going to be a lot smaller. They're going to be lighter as well. Same goes with the tires. They're going to be smaller at the same time. And also on top of all that, there's going to be what's called active aerodynamics. And what is that, you may ask? Well, essentially, when a driver's going down a straightaway, you will see on all of these cars, the front wings open up and the rear wings open up. And both of those things are going to happen at the exact same time but only on straightaways. When they come to the braking zones and they get into the brakes, that's when you'll see those wings close down in the driver corner. Now, on top of all of that, one of the biggest ones is probably going to be the power units. So the V6 turbo hybrids, still the same sort of V6 turbo hybrids that we've had in the past, only this time the engine, so the V6 turbo itself, is only going to be producing 50% of the power. The other 50% of the power is going to be coming from the electric motor or the battery. And combined, giving them 100% power will equal to about 1,000 horsepower that's going to be put out from these cars as well. Now, there's no more DRS. That is now gone. In its place is what's going to be called overtake mode. That's going to be a button on the steering wheel that the driver can push to release about 350 kilowatts, which is the maximum amount of energy these batteries can deploy. 350 kilowatts. That will allow them to make a pass on another driver. Now, the driver that's getting passed, they're going to have what's called a boost button. That will help them defend a bit more. It'll give them a little extra energy to use. And on top of all of this, the driver's going to have to be navigating with how they're going to be recouping this energy that they are losing from the battery. So we are going to see the drivers have to do way more than what they've ever had to do in the past. It's going to be an exciting formula. There's no question about it. We don't really know what the racing is going to be like just yet, and we probably won't have that answer until we see these cars out on the track in Australia for the first race of the season.
Oh man, Tim, I cannot believe how close we are to the start of another season. Thanks again for coming on the show. We're going to have you on again later this week to chat more.
All right, thanks very much for having me, Marissa. Really appreciate it. Thanks, producer Jeremy, as well.
TSN continues to celebrate Black History Month. And with baseball season on the horizon, and with the Jays hoping to make another run to the World Series, we'll look at the man that guided them to their only 2 championships. Cito Gaston was much more than just a manager. Jermaine Franklin now has more.
He will walk off the field for a final time as the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays with a win. Acknowledging the great crowd here tonight.
Cerebral, patient, soft-spoken, dignified. All words used to describe Cito Gaston and his managerial style. Another description that cannot be debated? Back-to-back World Series champion. Before he was a skipper, Cito Gaston was a journeyman in the major leagues. For a decade, he patrolled the outfield for the Atlanta Braves, San Diego Padres, and Pittsburgh Pirates. Gaston was a solid ball player, but he had his greatest success teaching the game. Gaston was a batting coach for the Toronto Blue Jays from 1982 to '89 before taking over as manager. He led the Jays to the division crown in 4 of his first 5 years. In 1992, they won the World Series title.
Timlin, Nixon bunts. Timlin on it, throws to first. For the first time in history, the World Championship banner will fly north of the border. The Toronto Blue Jays are baseball's best in 1992.
For Cito, man. I mean, he's a hell of a guy, and he finally gets what he deserved, baby.
Thank you.
Yes.
In '93, they did it again in dramatic fashion.
Here's the pitch on the way, a swing and a belt. Left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Gaston was the 4th black manager in Major League Baseball, and he made history as the first to lead his team to the postseason and win a World Series championship.
How could you not be romantic about baseball and about Cito Gaston? That's it for me today. See you back tomorrow at 3 Eastern, no Pacific. Have a good one.